trying too hard will actually be the death of me. I try way too hard. I try way too hard to make everything perfect. And it never turns out perfect. And I always end up redoing it and trying again. And it drives me a little crazy because I'm kind of a perfectionist. But I don't like that about myself sometimes. I love it and I hate it. It's like it works perfectly when I'm editing, but when I'm creating, it does not work at all. It actually hinders me from actually doing anything good. And I'm working on that. I really am. I just got to stop trying to be somebody and just start being myself and expressing my authenticity. That's what the Authenticity Project is about. It's about expression. And if I'm not expressing myself and I'm putting on a show for you, then I'm not doing this right. Because I'm never going to get to that point that I want to get at if I'm trying so hard. So I'm just going to relax. I'm going to take a deep breath and relax because, man, today's already stressful enough. I got a lot on my plate, got a lot on my mind, and I'm also focusing on driving here too. So I'm not going to be staring too much at that camera. But that being said, it is a beautiful day. There are things to be happy for, and I'm excited. I'm really excited about the next week and, the next month and 2 months. And, I'm just excited moving forward because I actually feel like I'm moving forward for once. I'm not stuck. I'm not bound to anything. I'm just doing my thing. And that's what I love most. I love my ability that I have to just kind of look for the positives in things. And it helps me. I've always used that as a tool to help me, move forward because I have been in so many ruts. I have been stuck in so many holes that I've created and dug that, I had to learn how to get out of those holes. And it isn't easy, especially like when you dig a really deep hole and you're really depressed. That is the hardest thing to get out of. But once you do, you realize that there wasn't so much you had to worry about. Every time that I've come out of those holes, out of that depression, I realized that life can get better. And it does get better because I wouldn't be where I am today if life didn't get better. And it always gets better. A simple example of that is after a storm. Some people view storms as bad things. Honestly, I think storms are cool. I love lightning, I love thunder, but let's say you planned a whole beach day. It's stormy. You're feeling bad. You're feeling annoyed, maybe a little angry because it was like a big plan. But there's going to be another day. There's going to be another chance for you to go to the beach. I don't know why this is the example I'm giving. Honestly, my point is there's always better days ahead. Just focus on what's in your control. That's all you can do. And the only thing in your control is yourself. So if you aren't even controlling your own emotions, then how are you going to control yourself and make the right decisions? When you're in the wrong emotions, when you're in the emotion of anger and you aren't releasing that emotion, you aren't feeling through that emotion, it's just stuck, it controls your life. You are no longer in control. You are letting your emotions control you. And that's where the problem is. That's where the problem is. The way to fix that is by feeling through those emotions, by accepting that you're feeling angry. Like, I'm feeling angry right now. And, maybe you got to scream. Maybe you got to go scream. And maybe that helps. And it probably will. If you want to release that emotion, go scream. Go into a field. Go outside. Just start screaming. I mean, if there's people around, they might think something's wrong. But try to find a place where you can do that, where you could feel through your emotions, where you can accept them. And that will help you move forward in life. It really will. It does help so much. And this is something I actually learned pretty recently, like within the last year, is just learning to embrace those emotions as they come, especially the tough ones and the confusing and conflicting ones. Like, when you combine like anger and sadness and resentment and all those things, like the emotions that are just so particular and like specific to a certain memory or a certain thing that's happened, and they kind of have layers. Like, you got to dissect yourself. I think the journey of life and the journey of your life and anyone's life is to learn who you are and learn how to, you know, be more of you. And I think one of the best ways to start that process is by learning to listen to yourself and dissect yourself, because there's a lot of information that can be found within. I think your whole persona, the person you truly are, your authentic self, is all within. It really is. And it's tough to embrace that side of you. It really is. Like, even now, I'm trying to embrace myself, and I'm trying not to put on a show for you. I'm not trying to be somebody I'm not. I'm just trying to be myself. And I think that's what create the best podcasts, are the ones where you're just being yourself. You're just having fun. Because if you're not going to have fun, then why would you even do it in the first place? Why would you even want to do it in the first place? You might have to do it in the first place if it's like a job or a career or something. Like, you might not enjoy that, but why are you still there? Why aren't you looking for another job that you might enjoy more? You have time. You have time to figure this out. A lot of people think that, it's a done deal, but it's not a done deal. There is always time until there isn't. And that's the conundrum, right? There's always time until there isn't. So, like, on one side, you have all the time in the world, and on the other side, you could die tomorrow. Like, I'm not trying to create any sort of existential dread, but you just gotta weigh your options, right? If you're 80% in the red, in the negative at your job, and 20% in the green, okay, then you gotta ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth it? If it isn't, try to change that. Start small. Don't make any rash decisions right away. Just weigh your options and look into things. Like, you don't have to go all one way or all the other. You could do half and half, or you could do 60-40. Like, figure it out. But once you do figure it out, then go all in. The moment you figure it out, just go all in. Because the moment you go all in, like, it feels so scary, but at the same time, you're so scared, but you're so excited, and you're so, like, ready. And, I'm experiencing that right now. The fact that I quit my job and I'm driving home. I'm driving back to my hometown. I get to be there, and I get to focus on myself for a while, and then look into firefighting and all that. But for now, I'm going to focus on myself for this month. It's all about me this month and next month in August. Like, the rest of the summer, it's all about me. All about chasing after my personal dream. And that's exciting. That's exciting that I took that first step, because I didn't take that step for 6 months. Well, the first little bit I was trying out the electrical job, and I didn't like that. But once I knew I didn't like it, and it wasn't something I wanted to do, I still stuck with it. I think it was out of fear, but also because the money was good, and I wanted to save up money. But now that I've saved up a lot of money, I'm ready to jump into this new part of my life, right? You don't have to go all in right away. You just gotta take your time and analyze things and make the right decisions, but don't wait too long. Right? Don't wait too long. And when you're ready, when you know you're ready, just go for it. And everything will work out. It doesn't seem like that right away, especially, with all the fear that's built up inside of you, because it's new, it's uncomfortable. You're stepping outside of your comfort zone. But once you start and you go for it, it all works out. And I know that because I feel that, and I've experienced that. So it's a little bit of a feeling and a little bit of, through personal experience. Like, I think that's the best way to analyze your life, is taking, from personal experience and also from feeling. I think feeling can really tell you a lot about yourself. And, a great example of that is certain memories. If somebody brings up a memory and it brings a lot of emotion, a lot of feeling, like, there's something real there, and maybe that could be explored. Like, I've went through my life from when I was a kid to when I'm older. Like, I'm still going through my life all the time, but I've had memories pop up about my dad, who passed away when I was 12 years old, 13 years old. And some of those memories bring so much pain and sadness, and they did for the longest time. And then I started, really diving deep into those memories just in my head, and, like, asking myself questions, and those led to other questions. And, like, I did cry. I cried those emotions out. I released those emotions from within. And you can do that yourself. And it does improve your life. It really does. And it could definitely benefit you moving forward. And I'm so grateful to be in a position today that this decision of mine to quit my job and move forward with my life and move towards, my dreams and my destiny. I don't know if that's the right thing to say, but like, because of all that analysis that I've done in my life and learned to do within, it makes this process and the shift a whole lot easier because I know how to deal with it. Before, this would have scared me so bad that I probably would have made a full 180 and went back. But I'm not doing that. I'm all in right now. I'm all in. I'm all invested in myself, because who else is going to invest in me as much as I can invest in myself? Nobody knows you as well as you know yourself. And that's saying you know yourself well. And if you don't, then who really knows you? I think that's the first thing to figure out, is who you are, because then you can move towards your own personal authenticity. Because your personal authenticity is very specific to who you are and how you were brought up, and just your nature. Everyone is different in their nature, and everyone is different with what they like and what they don't like. And at the end of the day, like, what I'm trying to say is everyone's different. So don't try to be somebody else. Just be yourself. Other people are going to have opinions. Your parents might have opinions. Your family might have opinions. Your friends might have opinions. Your girlfriend's family might have opinions, or your girlfriend might have opinions if you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, whatever. Does it matter? If it does, then you got to ask yourself why. Why do their opinions matter? Because I trust them, I love them, etc., etc. Okay. But who do you love more? Do you love yourself, or do you love them more? And if you choose them, then you're neglecting yourself. You can love both. You can love them and yourself, but you should always love yourself a little more. Because if there is something you want to do and you're holding yourself back because of somebody else's opinion, then that is going to haunt you for the rest of your life. And I'm going to say that with 100% certainty, that will haunt you for the rest of your life, because there's always going to be that aching feeling, that little thought, that little voice in the back of your head that's telling you, what if you did this? What would have happened? And that's never going to go away, because I've been there. It's been gnawing at me for a long time, like, just do this. Why aren't you doing this? Every day, just constant. That drove me crazy. I felt like I was genuinely going through hell because of the life that I created for myself. It started out really great, but it turned into something I didn't want. But that's what happens in life. You can't predict the unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. So make the best decision in the moment. And once the other moment comes, the present moment is always just a present thing. But whenever something comes up that, changes your viewpoint, and maybe there's a better decision to take, always take that better decision. Always take the decision that feels the most right to you. Because then you're listening to yourself. And the more you listen to yourself, the more yourself will kind of speak to you. If that makes sense. I'm trying to explain that right. Like, if you really listen to yourself, you're going to get better at listening to yourself, and then move forward in life making better decisions, because you've learned to listen to yourself and what that looks like. If you've never listened to yourself and you're always listening to others, you might not know how to listen to yourself. You might not even know what that looks like. But the place to always start is how you feel. Because feelings are important. Yes, they're tied to emotions, but emotion paired with action is honestly the best way to move through life, especially when it comes to passion, when it comes to dreams and aspirations, because that's going to support you on your journey the most. If there's no motivation, that's okay. You got discipline. But if there's no emotion, if there's no feeling in what you're doing, like, I'm doing this and I love doing this, like, I feel great, I got goosebumps right now, like, that's a good telltale sign that you're on the right path. But if you feel nothing and you're doing something just because you've always done that thing, then maybe it's time to re-examine your life and look at the things that actually fulfill you, and the things that inspire you to just express yourself and express your emotion. Like, I can say with 100% certainty that is what you need when it comes to chasing your dreams, when it comes to chasing after those things that, might seem unattainable right now. It's like, you need to ask yourself if they make you feel fulfilled. Because if you're fulfilled, you're doing the right thing. And that is what authenticity is all about. It really is. I'm going to end this podcast here. This is episode 5. Thank you for watching. And I will be back tomorrow.